Greetings everyone, welcome back to the channel. Into this video we are going to see how to create a query in a Microsoft database. Yes, being given this table, okay, we have this data here within our table, and this is the table we are going to use to create our query. However, our most emphasis is going to be at the criteria option. Simply we come at this ribbon under the create tab, okay, we click at it, and then we shall have under the queries we have two options there. We have the query wizard and we go to this query itself, okay. Of course this displays only a blank design view, okay. When we look at this the query wizard, of course, to help us create simple queries, the cross table queries, the find duplicates, and the unmatched queries, this wizard here. Now let's try to look at it. Now when you come back onto our table, we are given the student names, the age, the fees balance, the class, the parent contact, and then the location. Yes, we have so many names down here, okay. Now let's first see how we can create various queries using the criteria option. Yes, let's close up this. Now we are going to see how both of them work out, okay. However, in the first place, using the query, okay, we are going to deal with the simple query wizard. Yes, we shall go with okay, and we need all fields, okay. We shall need all fields, so we shall click up onto this symbol and go ahead with the next again. Now under here, this is where we give a name onto the current query that we would love to save, okay, to create, okay. This is where we give its title. Now we are looking at the fields default as query, okay. We are going to have a query of everything, okay. Simply we shall go ahead and say finish, okay, and onto this place we have created a query of everything, okay. Yes, all fields have been generated under this query. We have used the query wizard. Moving on, now we are going to be kinder selective, okay. Let's try to be kinder selective by having a few locations. Let's create a query of maybe Kampala, okay, and from there we should go ahead and see other ways. Let's still use the query wizard, okay. We are dealing with the simple queries. We shall need all, okay, and we are picking this, okay. We are using the table, okay. We are using the table. Yes, we go ahead, okay, and we are selective this time round, okay. We are dealing with the Kampala, okay. We need Kampala. We are looking at Kampala students, okay, those who are coming from Kampala. And now we shall look at modify, okay. We'll look at modify the query design, and then we'll look at finish, okay. Now we'll see that we have these fields entered here automatically under this criteria, this tab here. Now we're looking at the location, okay, under this field, under its criteria, okay, this row of criteria. So we shall click under this column of location. You either right click from here and look at for build, okay, or you simply move up onto this ribbon and look for builder, okay. You click at builder. Now into this menu you can simply compute in the location that you would love to display, and our most emphasis, our target is at Kampala, okay. We shall compute in Kampala. Now from there we shall click OK. Now when you click OK, it will definitely be brought down here, okay. It's into within the criteria, okay. From there we shall go and run. When you run, only students from Kampala will be generated, okay. They are here. Only those from Kampala will be generated. Now let's move on, okay. Let's try to see other queries, okay. Still with the yes, we are saving this, okay. Yeah, we move on. We're generating everything from our table, okay. except when you are being told from a certain query. Okay, you can create a query from another query, but let's do everything from the table. Move on with the next. Okay, with the next. Now, what are we looking at? We're looking at Fouse defaulters. Okay, Fouse defaulters between a given range. Okay, we are going to deal with a given range. Within a given range, maybe 500, maybe 500, and maybe 500, and maybe 100,000. Okay, yes, we shall modify it. We are modifying this. Now we are looking at school fees. Now we shall come under the column of school fees. We are using the criteria option into this. Now I told you either right click within here or you move up to the builder. Okay, all the same. Now we'll right click, we'll go to build. Okay, now we are going to see a query of fees, okay, between a certain figure to a certain figure. Okay, now what we shall do, we shall come to operators. Okay, come to operators, then we are looking at the comparison now. Okay, come to comparison here, we are looking at between. Click at between. Now where do you see this expression and another expression? Now we are computing in here a figure and another figure, between this figure and this figure. So here we shall compute in 500,000, okay, something of the kind, and okay, we said 200, okay, we said 100,000 between that figure. Then we shall simply come and say okay. So it will be brought down onto the criteria row and we run. Okay, when we run, when you look at these figures here, okay, yeah, no one is beyond 500,000. Okay, yes, that's how we can run. We can use the between option. Okay, let's try the in. Okay, let's try that of in. You can close all these. Okay, you try to close out this, even you close this. Okay, now let's look at this. Okay, now we have age. Let's try create a query of these students between a certain given age. Okay, maybe those between 20 and maybe 18 or 16, something of the kind. Let's try it out. So we shall still come back to create, then look at the query design. Okay, then this time round we need the student name. We shall need the age. Okay, and maybe we look at the balance and the location. Okay, we are leaving out their classes, the parent contact, but you only need the student name, the age, the fees, and then the location. So we shall simply go ahead and say next. We go ahead with next. Let's modify this. Then we shall simply have it finished. Okay, now when you look at the final here, you have the student name, the age, the fees, balance, and then the location. What are we looking for? We need to find out within a given range. We are looking at the in option, okay, under the criteria. So we shall click there. We move along to the builder. Okay, we come to the comparison operators here. Okay, we look at the comparison. We are using the in. Okay, we are using the in. So from there we shall now open our brackets. Now the age that we like to compute in here, it is the very age that the computer will definitely display out. Okay, yes, it is what we display. We are looking at the age. Okay, we move to the builder, then we come to operators. Okay, under comparison. Okay, then we say in. Now from here we open our brackets. Okay, now we are looking at the age of let's look at 19. Okay, let's look at 20, and let's have those of 16 only. Okay, you'll see that the rest of the age ranges are limited out. Okay, yes, now from here we shall simply say okay. When I say okay, it will definitely be brought down under the criteria row of the column age. Okay, now from here we shall definitely say run. When I run, I only have these ages that I've computed in. I've said 16, 19, and then 20. Only those fellows that I've selected out. Now, moving on, let's try to have another query Okay, now let's have another query here. Yes, we are saving this. Okay, after saving that, we proceed. We're generating from the tables. Yes, however, you can use any query given. You can generate a query from another query. Yes, we move along. Okay, modify this, and maybe this time around we are given a task to find a query of those fellows whose name begin with a particular letter, whose name end with a certain letter. Okay, something of the kind. Now, for instance, okay, I would love to have that query of only those kind of individuals whose name maybe begin with the letter K. Of course, you shall open the quotes, you compute in that particular letter that you are trying to find out. Then we shall have that operator, the asterisk. Then we close our quotes. Okay. Now from here, we simply say, okay. Now, the access has already given me like, okay, like space. You open the quotes, the letter, then asterisk, then the quote. So when I click run, only those fellows that whose letter begin with the letter K will be generated. So when I click OK, you will see, okay, we have the Kamese, Kato, Kampi, Ken, Kifampa. Only those fellows whose name begin with the letter K have been generated. Now going back to the table, we have a variety of students. There are so many, okay? There are so many students here. But when you look at this, only those of letter K have been generated out of the majority, okay, out of this. So that's how we try to run up with the queries. Now let's have a query of maybe, let's come to the query, okay, and let's this time around use maybe this of the query design. Okay, we shall click at it, and we are using this Fouse default as table. We need the name. Okay, we shall need maybe the balance, talk about the fee, the parent contact, and then the location. Now what are we looking for at this time round? Maybe we would love to use some symbols. Okay, yes. Now under the money, maybe let's say we come to greater, those maybe who are demanded maybe less than maybe something like 350. Okay, what happens? Simply have the symbol of less than, or you can even come to operators. Okay, let's use the operators. Come to operators. When you come to operators, we have these all. Okay, you can see this. Okay, we have the arithmetic. Okay, the arithmetic is here. We have the comparison is here. Now meaning that this is onto the comparison. You can click at it. The less is there. Okay, we said less than 350,000, something of the kind. So when I click OK, it will be brought down here, and when I definitely go to the run, okay, they will be generated. Only those less than 350, and indeed they have been generated. Only those less than 350. The same concept with those maybe above a certain figure, something of the kind. Yes. Now with that, that's how we can create various queries using both the query wizard and the query design. Yes, that's how we can make that. Yes, thank you for watching. We meet again in the next video. Stay blessed.